It's not working. Oh, no, it is working. Right, so let's turn that down a bit. Put it into sleep mode. Oh, right. I've got one person waiting. Two people waiting. I'm really nervous. And there we go. That should be me live, I think. How do I know if it's live? Not seeing anything on my iPad. Oh, nope, there I am. Okay, right. Oh, there we go. I think I'm live. I can see that there's at least two people in the chat at the moment, so it would really help me to know if you're there. So if you can, I don't know, say hi, that'd be great. God, this is nerve-wracking. Bring that down a bit. Because my shiny bonce is... oh, we've got four. Somebody say hi. Ah, the Maze Outdoors. Hello from Shropshire, wife watching too. Also, that's at least two people are here then. The Maze Outdoors. Oh, yeah, that's Ponytail guy, isn't it? Oh no, Ian's here as well. That kind of worries me. Well, Ian, I'm going to grab me wife's Harry Potter glass and have a drink in honour of my very first live stream. Oh, I love this stuff. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. I think that'll be enough to start with. Yes, ponytail guy with the Brummie accent. That's it. That's the one. Well, there's my first drink to the Brummie guy with a ponytail and to Ian. Oh, is it Ian? That's great. Is the audio okay as well, mate? I'm using OBS, but I think there's a little bit of a delay because what I'm seeing on this screen is different to what I'm seeing on my iPad screen, which is really weird to watch as well. I'm probably going to turn the iPad one off in a minute now that I know everything's working. Oh, that's good. So, Maze Outdoors. I've forgotten your name. I think your wife is Jackie. Is that right? But I've forgotten your name because I've got a terrible memory. As you've probably seen on my videos, I mention it a lot, but I've got a terrible memory. Probably because I keep forgetting that I've already mentioned it. Snack of choice. Funny thing is, I can see that we've got 4 people in the chat, but I've only got 2 of you talking, and now I've only got 3. I've got 3. Somebody's just buggered off. They're probably hoping that I'd be in a tent somewhere on Dartmoor in the freezing cold. Icy, snowy crap. I'm gonna have to turn this off. I can't look at both screens. It's weird. I don't know what to do with my hands. That's why I've got the food. It's either eat the food or play with my face, you know? My iPad will count for 1. In that case, I've just got the 2 of you then, because I've got 3 on my screen, and if my iPad's 1, then I've got you and Ponytail guy with the Brummie accent. Whose name I can't remember. I'm sorry, mate. You're going to have to write it in the chat so that I know who you are. And I promise I'll try and remember for at least a few minutes. God, that scar on my head is looking pretty bad, isn't it? I never really noticed it until now. Well, I'm glad it's all working. That's a fact, I suppose. Andy and Jackie, that's it. So I got Jackie's name right. But Andy, it was your name that I got wrong. Got you, Ian. So Andy and Jackie, how come you guys aren't out and about tonight? Is it too cold for you, or? Oh, you lost your picture for a few seconds. Sorry, bud. In that case, let's have a drink to you coming back. I'm probably going to be really drunk by the end of this. Oh, yay! My wife, who's sitting over there, is watching and snickering. Do you want to say hi, Donna? I can just turn the cat. No? Okay, no, all right. Yeah. Staying in to watch me. Wow. You really know how to live your life then, Andy. Obviously, it was Jackie that convinced you to do that because you were definitely going down to the pub, weren't you, bud? I got to stop eating. I shouldn't be doing this. So I've got matchmakers and I've got after eights as well. I've got Jack and my current favourite. I love this stuff. Dead Man's Fingers, spiced rum. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. We've just jumped up to 7 people in the chat. That's really hi. I'm glad that I didn't promise to have a drink every time somebody joined the chat. I'm guessing Donna's gone now, have you? Yeah, I thought so, because the numbers just dropped down by 1. She got bored. Which is weird. I got my camera set up wrong because I'm looking down at the screen. Maybe I should move it. Bear with me. Let me just move all the alcohol. Right. We bring that sort of there. Where's the best place to put the camera? Steve Outdoors. I should do what? What have I said that I should do? Because I think there's a little bit of a delay between what I'm saying and what I'm doing on screen and what you're actually seeing. Yeah, looking at my iPad screen, it's about a minute behind. I'll turn it off. I've got to turn it off. And eat more. Here, mate, I've got it set to 30 frames per second. I think. Have a drink. Cheers, Steve. I'm going to be absolutely twatted by the end of the night. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Who am I kidding? I swear like crazy in my videos, don't I? I've got to check my settings a set. I need to be able to answer what Ian's just asked me. Stream video. That's it. Yeah, I'm set at... Ian, mate, I'm set at 30 frames per second. I know you were a bit of a FPS whore. Good, I'm glad. I think you're only here because you're waiting for me to finish this so that you can send me a message asking if I want to go down to the band club.
The answer is no, by the way.
Donna says no. You're knackered. It's right, he's knackered. Ian's been in Exeter shopping. Oh, Andy, you got no beer? I'll tell you what, mate. I'll have a drink for you. Cheers for that, Ian. And cheers, Andy. Oh, I love that stuff, but I would have preferred to start it with a bit of a mixer, but I forgot to get any Coke. Basically, you guys are just sitting in to watch a bold guy who should have had a shave, drink Jack Daniels, and eat chocolate until he's completely drunk. So I don't know which is worse, the fact that I'm broadcasting it or the fact that you guys are sat there watching me do it. Well, anyway, let's start this off because I did say that this is going to be somewhat of an AMA. And I said that I would be answering questions. So if you type anything into the chat, then I'll answer questions. And I also invited people to send me questions if they weren't going to be here. And better than what? Better than what's on TV. Not a fan of EastEnders or whatever it is, eh, mate? Oh, here's Ash as well. Late to the party. Hope you are, mate. Yes, Ash, I'm good, mate. I'm pretty good. And I haven't forgotten that you and I still need to arrange another camp. And it's about a year ago, I think it is, since we last saw each other. When we went for our little hike around, what was it? Was it Pew Tour, the Staple Tours, I think we camped at Great Staple, didn't we? That was a bloody cold night. Not as cold as what we're getting at the moment, but it was a very cold and windy night. But we got a little bit of a cloud inversion, which is great. Ah, that was good. Here's to you, Ash. In fact, if I remember, Ash, wasn't that the first? Was that the first night that you were in your new Fjellraven tent? Was it the? It will come to me. The Abisco, the Abisco Light, was it? I think it was. Which I do believe you've just got rid of. The Abisco Light one. Shame that you got rid of that one. I like that tent. Um, Steve Outdoors says, so when you back down on Dartmoor 2, I don't know what the 2 is, but next time I'm down on Dartmoor is probably going to be in the early part of the new year. Um, I'm actually, I am really struggling at the moment with the cold. Um, the cold weather doesn't do me any good at all. This year more than most. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, maybe because I'm getting a bit sicker, whatever, I don't know. But the cold really, really causes me a lot of pain. I don't really relish it. I did want to go out last weekend, which was the weekend of the Princetown Rally to save Dartmoor from the Dickwells. But for this reason, that reason, and the other reason, I didn't make it, which was a shame because I was going to go along with a great guy called Stuart Henderson. He's on YouTube and Instagram as LNT Kernow. I was going to go along with him, and they had some fantastically brilliant weather, snow, ice, the lot. And I really wanted to go, and I got all dressed up and everything to go. I was in the right gear, but unfortunately, our driveway, we live on a hill, a really quite steep hill, and our driveway was iced out, and there's no way I could safely get the car out of the drive and down the hill without crashing my car. So I didn't make it, and I also didn't make my niece's birthday party because of that as well, which I was equally gutted about. So yeah, getting back to it, hopefully early part of the new year, possibly late January, early February. I think that's when I started again last year after stopping for Christmas. I think me and Ash camped, and then that was it until pretty sure it was around early February. The Maze Outdoors, what's the latest with Dartmoor? I'm guessing you're referring to the saving of Dartmoor and the Dickwells wanting to privatise their little area and make it illegal for anybody to walk on it and so on and so forth, walk on it, camp on it, or whatever. As far as I'm aware, the case has been, is it adjourned or postponed until I think March or May of next year. What I would suggest you do is actually look up, if you're not already following her, Becca, or what's her name? Muddy Bootlaces on Instagram. She's also on YouTube, but she's most active on Instagram. Look her up. She gave a recent update about it all. And you've also got the accounts Right to Roam, and I think it's Stars Are for Everyone or something like that. They're basically, you can get updates from those accounts. They'll give you the most up to date business. Um, I don't know. What does everybody think? I mean, if the Dickwells managed to privatise and fence off their particular 4,000 acres of Dartmoor, which, let's admit, is in a pretty remote area of the moor that very few people actually get to. If they manage to privatise that little bit, and obviously the knock-on effect is that the other landowners of Dartmoor can then go to the courts and say, hey, um, we don't want people walking or camping or sitting down on our land either, so we want our bits fenced off. And in the end, we end up with no Dartmoor that's accessible to anyone. I imagine the knock-on effect of that is that we're going to end up with, say, the 10 Tours kids going out there, or the Duke of Edinburgh kids going out there, and not actually being able to do what it is they're setting out to do without having to pay fees to the landowners. That's the knock-on that I'm thinking is probably going to happen. And that concerns me. That really concerns me. But there's not only that, it's the fact that you've got so many smaller communities in and around Dartmoor. I mean, let's just take Tavistock as a great example to start with. Tavistock is right there on the edge of Dartmoor, and I can't help but be concerned how that particular town, that particular community are going to be negatively impacted by restrictions being imposed upon the whole of Dartmoor. Is that a um, will there be business closures? Will the communities die? Will the town become a ghost town because you don't have the visitors to the area that you normally would, who are stopping there and shopping there and eating there on their way to the moors? And it's not just Tavistock. There's loads and loads of bigger towns, smaller towns, villages inside and around Dartmoor that potentially survive or possibly thrive through the trade that they get from Dartmoor visitors. I mean, look at Princetown itself. It's the whole village is geared for hikers and campers. So I've rambled on about that enough, haven't I? Sorry, guys. Um, what we got going on here? Um, so Ash, West Country Wild Camping, you sold your tent to a guy in Ireland. Did he come and pick it up, or did you have to send it? Hmm. Um, Reala Brand, Si, good evening, mate. You woke up, you poor old bugger. I'm surprised you're not out on the moors tonight, mate. How's your cough doing? Hopefully you're not out because you're not well. Um, Dartmoor Explorer, Carl. Dartmoor Explorer, for anybody who's here that doesn't know, and I think we all know Dartmoor Explorer, is Carl. And I'm a bit of a fanboy for Carl. Well, not Carl, actually. I didn't give a damn about Carl himself. He's all right. He's a bit ugly, but he's all right. Um, it's his food. I first bumped into Carl. Funny story, kind of. I suppose you might have had to have been there. But I first bumped into Carl on I think it was like my fourth or fifth journey to Dartmoor, and I visited Great Mist Tor. And on my way up there, I am with my selfie stick and my iPhone. I'm recording as I'm going along. I spot a couple of guys just up above me on the rocks. And they're sat there and they've got music going boom, 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 boom. It's like some shitty EDM music. And I'm thinking, oh, great, I'm going to be sharing this tour with a bunch of twats. And I climbed up and I thought, oh, I'll just say hi. Hiya. And I was like, hang on, I know this guy. What's his name? I've seen you on YouTube. I've watched a few of your videos. What's your name? And yeah, he tells me his name's Dean. Anyway, this guy that sat next to him seemed quite offended. He said, "Do you know who I am?" Like it was some sort of I'm a celebrity, you know. Anyway, it's Carl. He had over 1,000 followers at the time, and I didn't know who the hell he was. Anyway, so Dean and Carl invited me over um, to watch the sunset with them, have a drink with them, and so I was walking over to them from um, where I'd pitched up in my it was the Mongarty. I walked back and I Carl, I could smell it, man. Carl had cooked, what was it, cheese and ham omelette and fresh chips. You know, not even frozen chips. He cut the potatoes there and fried them off in a pan. And he let me have one of his chips, and it was the best chip I have ever had in my entire freaking life. Not only was it the best chip I had in my life, but Dave was with me. Dave's asleep at the moment. Dave was with me, and Dave helped himself to a good chunk of Carl's omelette, didn't he, Carl? You were there fussing around trying to take foodie photos of your omelette, and Dave helped himself to it. Mm, good times. And since then, me and Carl have been saying that we want to do a camp together, and we were meant to do it this year, but as you are possibly aware, I had a bit of a crappy year, and yeah, it didn't happen. So, Carl, we're gonna have to do it next year, buddy. We're gonna have to because I'm hungry, man. I'm really hungry. You know, you gotta feed me. Anyway, let me catch up. Where are we? So yeah, Carl's joined us. Ash, West Country Wildcats sets a precedent if they succeed. Yes, it does indeed, and that's what I'm concerned about, mate. If the Dickwells manage to succeed in their case in the courts, then yes, it does set a precedent, and that's the rolling effect that I'm concerned about. Them privatising their own little land for their own little illegal hunting and all the rest of the crap that they do on there with their naked moon parties, whatever it is they want to do. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. What bothers me is the knock-on effect. I can envisage the future being pay per go on Dartmoor. Pay as you go. You want to visit this tour, it's £10. You want to visit that tour, it's 15. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. Probably a little bit dystopian, but that's what's going on in my head. Steve Outdoors. Steve says it will not stop me at all. Just still go. Yes, mate. You know what? I totally agree with you. From my personal point of view, Dartmoor has become so important to my physical and mental well-being that I don't think I'd stop going. I don't camp anywhere else, or generally don't camp anywhere else because I'm always worried about doing the illegals, But I think I would still go to Dartmoor. I would put my middle finger up to them and say fuck them because, as the hashtag is, the stars are for everyone, and I want my stars. Um, Real Bransai, it will impact all of the small town scouts, schools, and God only knows what else. Go outdoors and camping outdoors. So that's it. This is the thing that I'm hoping the judge will take into account is not just the immediate impact to the most vocal group at the moment who are against um, the Darbles winning, that being the wild campers, the ramblers, the hikers, the dog walkers, and all the rest of it. They're the people who are there being vocal because it immediately, right now, in this moment, affects their ability to do what they want. But the wider implications are so much greater. I mean, go outdoors. love it or hate it, they employ a good number of staff right there in Plymouth and Exeter. They've just opened up another store in Launceston. Um, if you take away people's ability to camp, you take away their need to buy camping equipment, you take away their ability to walk, you take away their need for walking equipment, all the clothes, the accessories, the transit burners, and the rechargeable tent lights. You take away all of that, in which case you're potentially taking away people's jobs as well, and that's a really sad thing. Um, West Country World Camp. Oh, you posted it. All right. I was hoping it'd be like a really exciting adventure where you had to jump in your car and drive to here and then nip across on a ferry to there and drive down the coast and get lost along the way in the fog and get blown up by the IRA or something like that. But obviously not. Okay, that's very anticlimactic of you. Alan T. Kernow. Well, hi, Steve. I mentioned you earlier. If you want to see your mention, then you're going to have to rewatch the live stream when it is no longer live and it's recorded on my. Yeah. Um. Anyway, I mentioned you earlier, so nice to see you. Well, I've not really seen you, am I? I'm seeing your little icon, your PP, your profile pic. I'm going to say I'm seeing your PP because that's a bit, yeah. South Park would have a field day. Sigh, the cough. Oh, where have we gone? So I'm trying to scroll up through here, and I've just gone all the way to the bottom. The cough is hanging on, so no camp until it's gone. Mate, I've had a cough as well. I've had, well, basically, I nearly died of man flu over the weekend. That was the other reason why I didn't make it to go camping with Stu. Yeah, I was actually dying man flu. Um, but you recognise Dean and not me. That's exactly what I was saying, mate. I still don't really know who you are. No, I'm kidding, mate. You're the food guy, right? Um, oh, Karen's here as well. Hey, fashion relate. Do apologise. Hi, Karen. I hope you're not missing too much on tally. Carl's Dave enjoying it too. Yeah, he absolutely loved it. I think that was his first ever omelette as well, and his last.
No, I had omelette before.
Oh, okay. My wife says that I'm going to refer to her as Mrs. KernowCamps. Does she like that?
No.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that. Yeah, so Mrs. KernowCamp says that he's had omelette before. Andy, Maze Outdoors. Anything free seems to eventually become illegal. Yeah, it either becomes illegal or illegal if not, if somebody's not making a profit out of it. And yeah, it's I can be as pessimistic as anybody about that, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Um, Ash says I have to check out, mate. Being pestered to watch something on Netflix. Oh, so Ash is off for a bit of Netflix and chill. But Ash, mate, if it's not too late, then good night, buddy. Enjoy yourself, just not too much. And I imagine that you're being pestered to watch something in Netflix is I want to go and watch something on Pornhub. So you knock one out for yourself, mate. I was going to say knock one out for me, but no, no. I need to. This is why I like recording for YouTube because on camera when I'm out there on the moors or on a walk or whatever, and I'm recording, I say some really, really bizarre, random shit at times that never makes it to the video because I have to filter myself. I really do. Karen, hi all. Great to see you all. Karen, you can't see anybody. You can't see anybody more than I can see anybody, love. Karen, bye. Ash. Oh, Si says, hit the like button, show a Cornishman some love. Oh, and Daniel too. I think that's Dave's cue. Davey dog, come here. He's not very happy with me. He's been wearing his jacket today. He doesn't like his jacket. He's proper asleep as well. Dave, come here. Come and say hi to people. Come on, buddy. Dave's got a bit of sparkle going on today. Oh, what's happened? Oh, hang on. There we go. Come here. Up, up. Good boy. Who's this? Oh, there you go. That's you, mate. Dave's got his little tie on there. He's been in work today. He's been in the office, so he's got his tie on. And he's got a little bit of bling as well, hasn't you, Dave? Show everybody your bling. Bought this today. This for our night walks and jaunts on Dartmoor in the dark, so I can see where the little scrope bag is. So there we go. Right, where are we? Dartmoor Explorer. 95% of the time, I only camp in the permitted area. But if they make the Southmoor a no camping zone, I will just end up camping where you normally would have camped because it was out of the area. I'm mapping that up. Yeah. If they make the Southmoor a no camping area, then you, for now at the very least, you'll just bugger off to some other part of the moor. But my bigger concern is if all of the Dartmoor area becomes illegal, and if it does, then I'm probably going to get myself locked up a couple of nights of the month. Side done. Oh, thanks, Karen, if you've hit the like button. I can't see it because I'm not using YouTube to stream directly. I'm using a program on my computer, OBS. So I can't actually see when people like or anything. But if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe to me, because me and Dave, we are KernowCamps together, even though it's sometimes just me on camps. Everybody loves this boy more than me. He's the real reason. I mean, look how cute he is with his little tie on. He's the real reason why people look at my channel and don't look to somebody else, because quite frankly, I'm a bold twat. And I just heard my wife silently agree. Evening all, we're currently camping in our new Mongar 2. It just about fits in the dining room. Andy B channel. Well, thanks for joining us, mate. Drink. I'll have a drink to you in a minute. The Mongar 2, great tent, isn't it? I hope you're not planning to take it out in this current weather. Save it for the summer, mate. It's a great summer tent. It's a fantastic summer tent. Don't bother in the rain. Don't bother in the wind. Don't bother when it's cold. But certainly for summer, it's a fantastic, amazing tent. Tours and Moors. I didn't see you join, mate. Oh yeah, Tours and Moors. Hey everyone. Tours and Moors. Oh, another one. I've forgotten your bloody name. Before I talk to you though, Carl, mate, thanks for joining us. It was great to have you on and to have the opportunity to take the piss out of you a little bit, mate. Love you to pieces. Tours and Moors. There's so many people I can't remember your bloody name. I want to say Terry. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. But until you tell me otherwise, then it's Terry. In fact, me being me, now that I've said that, I'll probably always remember you as Terry, even though that's not your name. If anybody's not watched Tours and Moors, can I say something? Tours and Moors. Let's just be honest. I've had a couple of these. Tours and Moors channel started out, and it was strange. You would put up like a 30-second clip and followed by the same camp, but there would be like a 2-minute clip or whatever. And it took him a while to get a handle on the recording and editing and so on and so forth. He's come along brilliantly since then, and his videos have got better and better. And I think Terry's, no, he didn't give me his name yet. Terry's point of view, Terry's personal point of view, I should say, to his camping is very unique to him, and I really enjoy I really do enjoy his content. He's fantastic. I'm really hoping that me and Terry, or whatever his name is, get to have a camp later on. Again, it's another one that I'd spoken to and I'd hoped to have a camp with this past year, but we just didn't happen. So maybe next year. Um, so yeah. Anyway, we're getting back to it. Tours and More said hello, Dave. So yeah, Dave is great. Karen says Dave is the real rock star. Such a cutie. Yes, Karen. Can we stop with the praise of Dave now, please? Um, Dartmoor Explorer, I have to go. No, Daniel and Dave. Yeah, again, like I said, cheers, Carl, mate. You're an absolute star, bud. Si says Dickwell's barrister told the court that nowhere in the bylaws does it make camping legal on Dartmoor. Yeah, I know, mate. I read that and I had a real fucking chuckle to myself. And I imagine that the what was it, the Dartmoor, the, those against the motion. That'll help. I guess they had a good old chuckle when they said, "Well, yeah, but at no point does it say otherwise." You know, Dickwell's barrister told the court that nowhere in the bylaws does it make camping legal. Yeah, it also doesn't say that it's not legal, and that's the thing. Legalese is Ash. Well, if he was still here, I think he's buggered off to Netflix and chill. Um, I think he would attest to the fact that when it comes to the law is very specific. If it doesn't say that wild camping is legal, but at the same time it doesn't say that wild camping is illegal, then that means there is no law pertaining to wild camping one way or the other. And without a law preventing such an action, then it's not illegal to do. Not just on, yeah, bylaws does make it camp. Nowhere in the bylaws does it make camping legal on Dartmoor, just on Dickwell's land. This could mean the judgment goes against the whole of the moor. Yeah, I'm really hoping that won't happen. We'll wait and see. Dave's looking pretty dapper there, mate. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He's a great boy. I love my boy. He's gone back to sleep now. He's on the sofa. Tours and Moors, yes. Well done, mate. I probably said something a while ago that pertains to that. Ah, about your name. Yeah, okay, Donna. One was over there insulting me. Yes. Cheers, Terry. The Andy B channel. Our first time in it only arrived today. We know its flaws, but impressed anyway. Fits me and my 12-year-old son perfectly. It is a fantastic tent, and my favourite feature of it, above everything else, despite its flaws, despite everything else that's great about it, it does have a lot of good things going for it. It's the gear loft. When you've been camping in that tent a few times, that gear loft is amazing. And any tent that you climb into after that doesn't have a gear loft, and let's face it, that's the majority of them, they're all rubbish by comparison. I love the Mongar 2. I really do. It's fantastic. And it's that gear loft, it's brilliant. We're lucky enough to live in the Snowdonia National Park. Yes, mate. And another thing that I wanted to do this year was Snowdonia, but hey, maybe next year. Karen, I love the purple Mongar too. Was always jealous of Ash's tent, but love my Cloud Peak too. Love my Cloud Peak too much. Ash has got a bit of a ribbon for his tent because okay, it's purple, but when you've got the light in there at night, it's pink. It's pink. I'm sorry, Ash. If you rewatch this, mate, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's pink. What time is it? Okay. Um, Snowdonia is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you went there recently, didn't you, Karen? Was it Snowdonia you went to, Karen, or it was, wasn't it? You went there with Claire, Wild Bear. Andy, yeah, my son had his tablet in it. He can watch it through the net, love. Oh man, your kid's a genius. I never thought of that. Never thought of that. Because the netting is really, yeah, it's quite wide netting, isn't it? I never thought of that. You know what? I put my tent lamp up there quite a few times, but I never thought about doing that. That's genius. Well done to your boy. Almost bought the Cloud 2, but the features on this persuaded me. We're near Conway. I'm guessing, Andy, you're referring back to Karen's Cloud Peak 2. Yes, the Rhinox area in Snowdonia. Cannot wait to go back. The Cloud Peak 2 is a tent that I love and loathe. Sorry, Karen. I think it's a fantastic shelter. I really do. It is probably the most bomb-proof of all tents in its price range. But, and this is the bit that Karen will definitely attest to and agree to, it's freaking heavy. It is a big, heavy tent. You get a lot of room in it. You get a lot of versatility. The downside to it, in my opinion, is not just the weight. I don't deal well with weight. I'm weak as piss. But um, the the footprint, the size of it, limits the space in which you can pitch, and that's one of the things I love about my Lanshan One. You can really pitch that in the tiniest of spaces. So you can pitch it between a rock on the tour, and a puddle. Yeah, it's brilliant in that regard. Excuse me. Um, so I think you've picked a good tent there, Andy, with the Mongar, but it is not anything but a summer tent. I can't stress it enough. There's that video review that I done on the Mongar 2, which was a long-term video review. I'd used it a lot. So I formulated a pretty damn good opinion of it. It's my most popular video. I Don't get me wrong, I know I don't have a big channel at all, and my viewer numbers of any video are pretty damn low. But that video has had quadruple the number of views of any of my other videos. So I know a lot of people have seen it, and I hope that when they watch that video, they take away from um, they take away from that video not just its plus points but its flaws, because it does have them. Uh, my son is very smug and says hi. Andy, your son is an absolute genius. Don't ever annoy him. That's all I got to say. Don't ever annoy your genius son, because if that you annoy that boy, he's going to have the smarts to really get back at you, and you probably won't even realise he's done it until 2 to 5 years later. Um, the Maze Outdoors, a best budget tent. OEX fan here. You know, I like budget tents. I like cheap, because, well, a couple of reasons. One is, if you're just starting out and you don't know where to spend your money, the price of a tent is going to be one of your biggest outlays, and you're best to buy as cheap as you can, but the highest quality you can. So your question is good. Now, if you're asking me what is the best budget tent from the OEX range, I would probably be hard pressed to recommend between the OEX Fox 2, which I love, It was my first wild camping tent. I've had it out on Dartmoor tens of times. It's fantastic, but it does have its limitations. Don't get me wrong. And I think I highlighted most of those in my recent long-term review video of it. Um, that and the Bobcat One. Now, if you're wanting a small one-person tent, the Bobcat definitely. If you're wanting a small one-person tent with plenty of extra space to stretch out, and I do mean stretch out that way, not that way or that way, um, then the Fox. The biggest downside to the Fox is that you've got no sitting room in it. You're in there, you're hunched over like that if you're sitting. If you want to get changed inside your tent, you can have a bit of a struggle, especially if you're a bit of a taller, or rather, when you're horizontal, longer person, um, or if your mobility is impaired like mine, you will struggle inside it for an extended period of time, or if you're wanting to avoid the rain. For a quick overnighter, yeah, it's fine, but it's a little bit heavy for that kind of overnighter. The Bobcat, on the other hand, I think is a amazing sit up and watch the world go by. Doesn't matter what weather it is. Tent, and the fact that you've got a lot of vertical room in there. You've got outside of the nest. You've got a vestibule with a footprint in it. So you've got a dry area inside your vestibule. You can bring the doors down, like, and create like a window there, and you can just watch the world go by. It's got a vent cover which comes out over the window, so even if it's raining, the rain's not coming in. I think the Bobcat's a great tent. However, however, if we're going somewhere other than OEX, and I would recommend not limiting your options to one brand, then you've got a lot of choice when it comes to 3FUL Nature Hike tents. Now, if you're not familiar with 3FUL Nature Hike, they are basically Chinese knockoffs of other tents, um, but significantly cheaper. Like Karen's Cloud Peak 2 is, I think, a direct knockoff of a Hilleberg. Um, it's not built to the same quality, the same strength, not by a long shot. It's Chinese. And that's not me being a racist mind. That's just a fact. We all know that Chinese knockoffs are not the highest quality, but they're not going to be for the price you pay. For the Cloud Peak 2, you're going to be paying, what's it, I think I want to say 140 at the moment, whereas its Helleberg equivalent is going to set you back a car. So OEX, sorry, not OEX. So Nature Hike and 3FUL produce some absolutely fantastic tents. The Mongar 2 is a brilliant backpacking tent for two people comfortably. You've got a lot of headroom in there. You've got a lot of length and width to it. You've got two vestibules. If there's two of you, say Andy and Jackie, you're both out, and you're both staying in the same tent, then you can split the package down between the two of you. One takes the pegs and maybe the inner, one takes the outer and the poles. So although it is a slightly heavier tent, I think it's comes in at 1.6 kilograms, if I remember correctly. Split it down between two of you, you're looking at roughly 800 grams each, which is next to nothing. That's the weight of a Lanshan from 3FUL. The Lanshans that I own, I think, are a little bit complex for some people. I love my Lanshans, but I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with them. I think they are a little bit too finicky for a lot of people. But if you're carrying poles with you anyway, then they're they're a good choice to keep your overall base weight down. Um, anyway, carrying on. Sorry, I got a little bit stuck on that one. Smug. But Terry, you say on one of your first videos, you struggled to walk up to my King's Tour. Then a couple of vids later, you went from Great Staple down the hill to the stream, and then up the dreaded hill to Great Miss, and that really inspired you. All right, yeah, that's the video where I met Dean and Carl. That's Life on the Rocks and Dartmoor Explorer. That that day was hot, man. That that day was hot. I think that was the hottest day of the year so far up to that point, and yeah, I'm glad that I went there. And the sunset was fantastic. The company was brilliant. Um, but would I, knowing today what I didn't know then, that incline from the stream up to the peak of Great Mist Tour, that was a climb. That was I should have stopped at Great Staple. I really should have done. I should have stopped at Great Staple. Ugh. So thank you, Terry, for saying that. That really inspired you, mate. That's good. And he says he's howling here. Yeah, well, your boy. You just watch him. He's gonna be a psycho or something. Um, where are we? Andy says started out in '79, still on a budget. Andy, mate, how old are you, man? I thought you was only like a couple of years older than me. It's just that you kept some of your hair and grew a ponytail. You started out in 1979, so you started out a year before I was born, bud. But that makes you feel old, doesn't it? You've got the Fox 2 and the Jackal 3. Yeah, the Fox 2, mate, it's a top 10. I love it. The Jackal 3, I've often wanted to try one out, but it is a three-person tent, and OEX tents are not lightweight. Um, yeah, nah, nah. I couldn't do the Jackal 3. And we have the Euro Hike Deluxe two-man tunnel tent. And for 40 quid new, I thought it's amazing, but it's not freestanding, which I wanted, and heavy. Eurohike are Eurohike really are the budget brand, and I think they're an easy sell for the big chain stores because I mean Euro Hike is the name is good, the range is good, but they are cheap. They are cheap, heavy, not particularly robust. They generally have the fiberglass poles and the big steel wire shepherd's hook pegs, and everything about them is budget. And there is one tent, I think it's called the Ribble. The Ribble. I would actually be tempted to buy that one if I just had money in my pocket and thought, oh, I've got nothing to do with this, although I've always got something to do with my money. Um, I think I would get that. If I saw it on Marketplace at a bargain price, I'd probably get that and make a couple of changes to it to lighten it up, starting out with the pegs. I like that tent. But again, the fiberglass poles, I don't like them. Catching up, I'll defend the Cloud Peak to the death. Lol. I can't. The Cloud Peak is a great tent. I'm not knocking it at all. If you were to give me your Cloud Peak, I would quite happily take it out on camps. But I wouldn't want to spend the money on a tent which is much heavier than I'm really comfortable with. Um, Andy B got the OEX sleeping bags. They seem decent. Which ones have you got, mate? I've had the I got the blue one, the Fathom 200, was my summer bag last year, which I really like. It's a really comfortable bag, although it's a little bit, I find it a little bit skinny, because I'm not. Then I bought the EV400, which was a red one, which was apparently a four-season bag, and I used it at the beginning of autumn and nearly froze to death up on Roost Tor when I camped with Novice Wild Camper. He There's a video on that, I think. He just randomly joined me, and yeah, it was terrible. I took it back the next day, and they refunded me, and because I bought it on a discount, they knocked that discount off a replacement, and the replacement was a display model. And anyway, I ended up getting the what was it? The Leviathan EV900 down sleeping bag, and that thing is top notch. The only extra that I had to pay was 12 quid. I was really happy with that. But that bag is super comfortable, super warm, and nice and wide at the shoulders, nice and wide at the fat hips, and it's got enough room for me to move my legs around quite comfortably. I love that bag. In fact, sometimes I have to, even when I'm doing like cold weather camps, I have to unzip the damn thing all the way down to let some cool air in because it gets too warm. And I'm in there in like nothing but like boxer shorts at the most. Karen says, "Oh, crikey! I need to go back here. Right, I need to catch up. I'm waffling like crazy, aren't I? You're getting the Lanshan 2 for Christmas if you're a good girl. Wow. The Lanshan 2, top 10. I hope you've elected to go for the Lanshan 2, not the Pro. It makes it a lot more versatile. I wish I'd not gone for the Pro. Being a single skin tent, the Pro. I bought the single skin Pro 3 season, which makes it crap for winter. Um, Sai says, I still had the tent I was conceived in until the mid 2000s. If you think anything that's heavy these days, try a late 50s canvas tent with wooden poles. Sai, mate, I really don't know what to say to that. You still had the tent you were conceived in until the mid 2000s. I didn't think they made canvas like back in the 1800s. I thought it came a little bit later than that. Anyway, um, so says at Karen, sorry you didn't get the Lanshan in advance. Bad girls don't get new tents. And he conceived in it. I think that might give me a complex. Yeah, I wouldn't want to camp in it. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't want to camp in your tent that you were conceived in, but I wouldn't want to camp in any tent that I was conceived in. Dean, life on the rocks. Oi, get on, Dean. You right, mate? We was just talking about you, buddy. Or rather, the fact that I recognise you and not Carl up on Great Miss. And he says he's 61 years young. Get on. I've just skipped down. Hi, David. All right, okay, you're all greeting each other, so let me just skip over a bit. Are you going out stalking other campers next year? You know what? I probably am. I'm pretty good at that. Um, who have I met? So my first duo camp was with Ryan in the Wild, who sadly I don't think he's doing camping anymore, which is a shame. Um, and on our first camp, that was when I met Sai for the first time. In fact, actually, that's the only time I've ever met Sai. Um, yeah, I met Sai, and he was busy stalking Karen at the time up on Roos. Karen was filming a cooking video, and we all dropped in and said hi, which was great fun. Who else have I bumped into? Obviously, Dean and Kyle. There was another guy there. What was his name? Oh, Jason, big tall guy with a beard. Wonderful Jason, was that his name? I don't know, something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, we kicked the shit all night and talked about conspiracy theories. I think it was. Other than that, I've met. I can't even think. Obviously, novice wild camper. Oh, and a bunch of others. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be dissing anybody by not remembering, but I got shit memory. I probably said that already. So am I going to stalk other campers next year? Yeah, damn right. I'm I'm going to be finding whoever I can and saying hi because I'm a friendly person. So I says, I swear by my Eurohike Tamar 2. It's heavy, but by God, it's good. I think the Tamar is probably their most popular tent, isn't it? But I think that's because it only costs like 25 quid. It's a proper festival tent. It's the kind of thing that you can take to Glastonbury and it will get trashed and you will leave it behind and you won't care. But it will get trashed and you'll leave it behind, but there'll be enough of them. There's plenty of spare parts to build a few good ones. And then Glastonbury people, they come along and they pick them up, they pack them up, and they donate them to homeless people. And then they last for years. So I think that's great. Hi, Danielle. I've got a new phone. Can't type on it yet. By Danielle, I guess, Dean, you're talking to me. I don't think there's anybody else here called Danielle. I'm not called Danielle, by the way. I'm called Daniel. Danielle is the feminine version of my name, and I'm only feminine on Saturday nights. So tonight I'm Daniel, and you can't type on it yet. Well, that kind of sucks. Use your voice. And he says he's got the EV300. That's the good. I think, Dean, you've got the 300, haven't you? And blue. Is that like a yellow one? I can't remember. I think Dean's got the 300 as well, and I think I remember wishing that I got the 300, not the 200, because it was just that little bit warmer. Um, I've got to go, lovely people, Bio and Mrs. KernowCamps. She's already gone to bed, I think, to be honest. So, good night, Karen. Enjoy your show as well. Um, Yellow one, synthetic 1005 GM. That's why I chose want to do some long distance hiking. Yeah, I think they're a good balance between weight and warmth, the 300s. Andy says, the Andy B channel says, Bags, my gorgeous wife got me the Osprey Kestrel 48 for Christmas. Can't wait. We slowly upgraded our kit, starting with ex-military gear. Is your gorgeous wife currently watching? Did you say you and your wife are watching, or was that somebody else? Well, if your gorgeous wife is watching, then well done to her. And the Kestrel 48, I would love to grab myself an Osprey. But again, I think part of the reason why I buy cheap is so that I can buy more of it. I like options. I do like options. So while I would like an Osprey bag at some point in the future, I think I'm going to need to get to the point where I'm settled on all of my other gear before I settle on the bag. Because they ain't cheap, are they? Dean says, laters. Well, laters, man. Nice for you to join us. And which way is that emoji? Is it? I think it's that way, isn't it? Yeah. 1800s cheeky fecker. Mate, I don't know when you were born. I'm just guessing. I've only met you the once, so I need a bit more time to work that out, and I've had a couple. She stalks you. Karen stalks you. You're only saying that 'cause she isn't here to defend herself now. I think the truth is probably more that you're scared of her, and that's why you're being big and brave by saying that while she's not here. Wandering Jay. Oh yes, yes, not Wonderful Jason or whatever I said he was called. Wandering Jay. That's it. He likes to speak conspiracies. Andy B Channel. Sorry, got to go. Wife calling. Well, see you later, Andy, and thank you very much for joining us. How long have I been on? I've been on for an hour and 11 minutes. And we are down to just 3 of yous left in the chat. So, you know what? I think I'm actually going to head off as well. What time is it? It's 10 past 10. I've actually really enjoyed this. I might do it again. Probably give people a bit more notice than what I did today. But no, I really enjoyed kicking the shit with you peoples, and it was good. So I think the longest time anyone has been here, I'm going to scoot back over all of this, was the Maze Outdoors. That was he was first to say hello, and I'm going to say I believe he's still here. Am I right? Probably. But I think he's the one who's been here the longest. So thank you to, let's go through real quick. The Maze Outdoors, Redders TV, that's my good man Ian. My wife for dropping in, Steve Outdoors, Ash West Country Wild Camping. Who else turned up? Cy Rihanna Brand, Carl Dartmoor Explorer, L&T Kernow, Stu, thank you very much for joining us. Karen, again, thank you very much for joining us. Terry Tours and Moors, thank you. God, I went on a bit of a rant there with the whole Dartmoor stuff, didn't I? I can see it. Who else? Andy B, thank you very much, buddy. I think that's all of you, isn't it? No, because we haven't got to Dean. Get on, Dean. Thank you very much. And that's it. So get on. You know what? Take care, everybody. I'm bored now, and I'm leaving. Bye. Cheers, Terry. Right, no, guys, I am going to go. I'm going to just knock down this drink to say thank you very much. Dean, you're the on the rocks whiskey guy. I'm loving this. Is this any good, mate? I mean, as far as whiskies go, is this good? I don't know. I like it, and that's what I'm going to knock back the last of. Thank you very much. Oh, I love that. Oh, before I go, one thing I want to say. Um, Tomorrow I am. Oh, it's not. Well, I love it. So fuck you, man. Oh man, I can't believe you just pissed on my bonfire. How about this? Because this is next. It's my favourite baby. Tomorrow I am off to a little. We'll call it a secret location because everybody likes hearing those words. I'm off to a secret location, um, and I'm not camping. I'm not camping. I'm not even walking. I got an electric scooter. It's down here. I love it. So I'm off on the electric scooter tomorrow, and I'm planning to do a little video. It should be very different to anything that I've done before. although there is a cooking video. And where I'm going is there's a little secret spot next to a river. I'm hoping to take a Swedish torch with me as well, so I have a nice little fire going on. I'm taking my Trangia, and that video should be out probably Thursday. And my plan is to make it 5 minutes, no more. It'll probably be more because I ramble a lot, don't I? Um, but I'm hoping it will be a good video. So that's just your little insider take. Yeah, that's about it. There's one last thing I want to say to everybody. This is hard actually because I know this is live and it's not so bad when it's edited out and I get to pick and choose what ends up in the final result. But a couple months back, I put out a video, I think it was entitled Where I've Been and Where I'm Heading. And I go on a little bit of an introspective there about having had a bad year and so on and so forth. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the last month or so, I've been knocking out a few videos. I've done 2 on the OEX Fox 2. I've done the Jetboil one, and I think another one. And I'm not going to say I've got my mojo back, but I've got back into the swing of things, and it's because of the support that I've had from this little community. And I don't just mean my own particular little space, my little tiny corner of YouTube or whatever. I mean on Facebook and Instagram, wherever I'm active in my KernowCamps gaze. People have been really supportive and really encouraging, and it's mostly you guys, the ones that are here now, the ones that have been here earlier on today. You've all been absolutely fantastic. You're commenting on my videos, you're sending me messages asking me if I'm doing good. We're in group chats, and even though I'm quiet, the banter's still going on and it's still making me smile. And yeah, you've all done me an absolute wonder, and I really, really, really freaking appreciate all of you for all of that support. You've been brilliant. Um, yeah, before I cry or some daft wussy shit like that, thank you very much. Steve Outdoors, you like it as well? Or was it that one? I love this. But that's me. I'm done. Thank you very much.